Hey everybody, let's get back to the series here on refurbishing and reworking some models before work there. So, I think you remember this Ganesh that I had outside there for those folks province away that I'm doing for them. If you remember from the first video, it had a really rocky bottom. It wasn't poured flat. So I've just got a little sanding to do. I just used plaster on there. I use the dry plaster from that you can buy at any hardware store, the kind that drywallers use, and I just use it kind of like plaster of Paris, only got a lot longer to work with it, and it's really easy to sand. I'll show you in one of the later videos what kind I use. So anyway, he had a broken hand over there on the left-hand side, and he did have a broken tusk, but he's supposed to have a broken tusk. But it was more just a nub right down at the base. So I sort of rebuilt one and sliced it off, because in mythology it was cut off with an axe. So I just corrected that and fixed the broken hand. That was gone. Again, this is a GFRC model, right? That's glass, reinforced fiberglass, concrete. You see a lot of these things around now, and I might go on a bit of a rant. I don't know what I think about them. I mean, they're cheap to buy. They're good for us to buy cheaper models. They usually come from China or India or Thailand, I've found. The market's got lots of them. Problem with them is the quality isn't there, right? And I hope it doesn't give us a bad name if we're trying to pump out a real good quality product. They're usually full of holes. My neighbor's got some, and I pointed out to him why after 2 years it was breaking apart already. They're full of holes, and if you don't look really close and get in there, there's holes and cracks because it's hollow, right? So if you don't look, the water gets in there. If that sits outside in the winter in a northern climate like I have here, they only last a couple of years because water gets in and then they just start busting out from the inside out. So like I said, you'll see a lot of times fiberglass shards sticking out. They usually all have a rough texture to sort of hide where their seam lines and stuff, which is okay. I don't mind the rough texture sort of thing. That's okay. It makes it look a little aged. It's good. But again, I don't know. The market's full of these things. There seems to be more and more all the time. And I just hope it doesn't affect us that try really hard to make a quality product to put out there. So anyway, that's the end of my rant. So you can see this thing. He's ready to get tomorrow. I'm going to seam him up after I sand the bottom there. I didn't make the clay really smooth because you want to match the rest that's on. If I would have smoothed it out totally, it would look stuck out like a sore thumb. So I left it kind of rough looking to match the rest of the model. It's monster clay, by the way, there and there. So a few challenges with this guy. He's going to get seamed up tomorrow, I hope. We'll see how interruptions go. But as you can see, I'm going to need a window here. So that's a fill there, right? Going to need a window here in the old trunk. Going to need a window in here. And I'm going to put a small, you can see I marked him out already. I'm going to put a small seam in here running up under his hand, like up in here. And then again, one underneath this hand as well. Now, if you can see, well, I've got this light on, this black dot. I've got a black dot on his palm. I might relocate it. We'll see. I have to think about it. And on his trunk underneath is another dot. So those are all going to be potential vents, air vents, because I foresee problems getting in here, getting a nice fill and a nice pour. I just want to get some continuity and let it travel and let the air come out of those spots. Same as the hand. If not, I have a fear that all underneath here will be straight bubbles under here. Bottom of his hand will all be bubbles. So that's why I want to stick a few vents in. May even do one in here. I'm still thinking about it. So the seam before, it was a two-piece mold, like most of these GFRC ones. They're two-piece, complete two-piece, and then slapped back together again. But this one I'm stopping just short of a two-piece. I'm stopping right up here, but running it down the side, down that back of his sash, and down to the bottom. And then again on the other side, coming up, across his arm towards the back of the hand so you don't see too much here, and then up, and then stopping and here. And why I'm stopping there is because it's not wide anymore, it's here, right? It ends, so the widest piece here, so it'll be easy pull to get that up and over after that. And I'm going to put a little tiny seam in the back behind his headpiece, and that plaque in behind. So there's quite a bit to do for seaming for this guy. Maybe I'll give you another shot when I get it seamed up. I'll do another quick vid again and add it to this series. Okay, gang, there we go. So it's time for the second coat. So I came in early this morning and just enlarged the seam, put my registry keys on. So I'll just give you a quick peek what I got going on here. It's always good to see it before the rubber gets on there. Let's see the under the hand ones. And then I've pre-done up 3 of my vents, ready to go.